had Taco Bell twice today, guys.
That's not cool. Hey, listen.
Is that why you're wearing the Taco Bell shirt?
No, we're not talking about how many times you had Taco Bell.
I think it's an important thing to talk about. I had it twice today.
I had it yesterday.
So if John gets up, we know why.
It's weird.
It's true.
I did see a commercial today on Taco Bell. This guy was like, get out there, and he was like, $5 to feed your whole family, where he had like several tacos, several bean burritos, some of the red beans and rice, and tostados. It was like a whole plate of food, $5.
How?
I don't know. It's like
Not at my Taco Bell.
the 80s. That's how.
The very first. Yeah, I saw
it
the
was an old commercial.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Dude, it was so much food.
Back then, hell
It
yeah.
was so much food.
Is that back when they had the enchilito or whatever that was?
Yeah. No, they actually call it out. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. It's
Tacos
actually.
were like 29 cents back then or something.
Yeah, I know. Can we just say, like, come on, like, guys? I know we just went into this whole babble thing. That the episode just started. Can we just talk about, like, hey, thank you so much for joining this show. Thank you for tuning in to Grabbing the Brisket, where James usually does the
intro?
the intro to this, but he
like
didn't.
that.
He didn't.
Like
right?
Jan just like stumbling out of the gate.
Yeah.
Just like he's
right.
like that horse at the races.
So amped up.
He's so amped up to go, and as soon as the chute opens, it's like just starts tumbling out.
Yeah.
The jockey goes flying. It's
That's
lovely.
me.
I love seeing that. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? You know what I love seeing? I love seeing the shit talking, James. Keep that up, why don't you?
Hey, I got it. I've been feisty today. I don't know. Yeah.
Bring it, man. What you
go.
got? What you got over there?
Feisty.
Huh?
Yeah.
What you got? Yeah.
Is that the appropriate?
No.
room?
Wow.
yeah.
Hey,
No, I like it.
Why don't you read the room? You know, I mean,
Okay, well.
throwing words out like that.
Can we go back to talk about Taco Bell now?
We're trying to.
Yeah.
No. So yeah, what James was talking about was this. They showed the original commercial of Taco Bell, and yeah, the amount of food you got was. It's enough to actually feed like 17 people. I mean, it was a crazy amount of food.
Taco Bell was a place that you went that was like cheap, that you know you can just get a lot of food for like nothing.
You know how much a taco is right now?
I don't know.
One crunchy taco. It's like $2.18.
Oh, come on.
It is. It's ridiculous.
Is it really?
Yeah.
You know how much it was when I first when I was old enough to go to a Taco Bell?
A nickel.
No, it was a nickel. Yeah, it's all a nickel. I walked 10 miles to get that damn taco. It was a nickel. No, it was like 89 cents or something.
It was 59 cents when I worked at Taco Bell.
Maybe 59 cents.
Yeah.
Like crazy.
Wait, you work there and you still eat there?
I eat there all
'Cause
the
he
time.
knows.
It must be better at the. Okay, that gives
He
me a lot
knows.
of confidence, actually.
You really shouldn't, but
Oh, okay.
Do you think?
It's all
do you think?
disgusting, dude.
yeah.
Do you think that maybe that they're just possibly doing too much?
No,
You know what I
No,
mean?
they only have like
I actually
4
love
different
Taco
things
Bell.
they can put on stuff.
Every
They-
time
they
I hear,
just
well,
put
I
a
know, but
different
they
way.
have all like the 100 different types of like items that you
The
can
same
get.
thing.
It may be made with the same ingredients, but it's like labeled something else, and then they have the ad promotions throwing it out there about this right here. Do you think they're just doing too much? It's like just do tacos, your bean burritos, your
no.
I don't
James,
know.
no.
For
no.
people
It's
that
all
are
just
fans
tortilla
of
meat
meat,
and
They're
cheese,
making
you know?
French fries now. No, okay, you keep the French fries; they're amazing. And you know what I think you do? I think you bring barbecue to Taco Bell. I think that's the next thing. You're going to see some Taco Bell
No,
barbecue.
no.
Well,
I'm
no,
telling
you're
you.
going to
No.
see
it's not
brisket.
going to happen.
Brisket. It's going to happen. And you know
They're
what?
doing like a
We're
cantina
the
chicken
guys
thing right now.
Hey, we're the guys bringing it to you. Okay?
Can you
'Cause
imagine the
yeah.
kind of barbecue that Taco Bell
It's
would
gonna be
have?
amazing. It's going to be amazing.
Nobody wants that.
Real
No.
smoked pits. We're going to call it smoked pit barbecue tacos. Why would you not put that on?
Smoke pit barbecue
catchy.
tacos.
It's real
Whatever.
catchy.
Give me some of those.
Hey, listen, these are the words you use, okay? Cajun smoked barbecue, tender. These are the action words you use. You're done, dude.
Yeah.
People are lining up
I'm
down
not
the
eating that.
I don't
freaking
know.
road.
I'm not eating that.
Hey, Taco Bell?
I don't even know why we're going into
Get
like
outta
5
here.
minutes of Taco
Just
Bell.
get outta
talk.
here.
Because he wore the Taco Bell shirt.
I'm telling
today.
you, just
I feel
get
like
out of here.
Taco Bell's biggest shtick recently is taking things away and then bringing them back.
Yeah, to
It's
make you-
back.
That's like
Yeah,
everybody
the
does
Mexican
that.
pizza.
It's-
Yes, exactly.
Yeah, Raul, can you play the gong? The doom.
oh, it's called a tangent alert.
Is there a gong, really?
Yeah,
The bell. Yeah.
I
We'll
love
settle,
it.
we'll settle for that.
Close enough.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
But honestly, it's like, hey, this is a cool episode for us. We're fortunate enough to have Eudell Watts, the fourth, join us today. And I don't know, is his son joining too? Do we know?
I don't know.
We don't know for
We don't
sure.
know.
I thought he was the third.
but possibly.
I think he's the fourth and the son's the fifth.
I could be wrong.
But from Old Arthur's Barbecue, we met these gentlemen at the NBBQA 2024 this year here in San Antonio. And you might have seen them on one of the episodes that we did when we recorded out there at the conference. But he had so many stories. Just you couldn't even
Killer
believe
stories.
the stories that he was putting out there. And so it was really nice meeting him. It was
But
like,
it's not.
okay.
Yeah, I mean, it's his family history is what he's talking about, and how this barbecue has been a part of their family for generations,
yeah.
right? And it's like you're talking about one of the original pit masters, and it's pretty cool, and
It's mind blowing, is what
yeah,
it is.
you know,
the
and
whole story is just crazy.
and it needs to be talked about, and it needs to be shared, and it needs to it needs to wind up in as far as the records and everything else, right? So it's pretty badass.
Yeah, and we'll talk a little bit about the line of seasonings, the rubs that they have. We've talked about that before in the past or whatever. But yeah, I'm just excited to catch up back with those guys.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good one. Before we get them on here, should I jump into some hot off the grill barbecue news? Get that out of the way.
Of course.
Hey, you're not getting out of the way. You're informing the people. Okay,
Oh, let
we
me
want to hear this.
Inform the people, and I just got this. This is literally hot off the press. And the only reason he's let me share this is because it's not actually going to air for a couple days.
No, perfect.
This is from Kel. Apparently, the National Barbecue and Grilling Association and the Barbecue News Magazine are thrilled to announce that the talented contributors of the youth outdoor cooking magazine Future of Q, which we've talked about quite a few times on the show, is going to be hosting a live fire cooking demonstration, or I guess multiple of them, at the Memphis in May World Championship Barbecue Contest.
Oh,
Yeah. So Brady Dopp, little green guy who we met out there, I believe, Miles O'Gwen, Caden Blake, we all know, Riley Wright, the Steak Princess. These are all, at least some of the names that are going to be out there doing their thing. Memphis in May, Thursday and Friday, May 16th, May 17th.
damn! Wow,
right.
wow!
That's pretty cool.
It is,
cool
man.
thing.
It's this thing. Like, we were just at the Houston Barbecue Fest, and like, what do we see there? Texas A&M barbecue, right? It's a whole science that's
taking
happening. That's what I'm saying, dude. We're getting them. We're getting them when they're getting out of kindergarten, and we're getting them
Don't
in
clip
college.
that. Don't clip that.
We're getting them in college. You know, barbecue is taking over. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I agree. Yeah, and I love that the kids are getting it. It's a huge deal.
Yeah.
Dude, it's
I'm
just
just-
badass.
Yeah, are they? Look, I know they have competitions, but when is it going to be the time for the middle-aged dudes to get their own?
No, that time is over with. I'm
pretty sure that's already
that
a
time is
thing.
over with. This is like really a cooking. If you look at where we're in the cooking era right now. There's so many different fusions happening. Going to culinary school was a thing, right? I mean, it's a thing now. I'm not saying I'm not whatever. I mean, obviously you learn and whatever going overseas, but you've got these Michelin star chefs that are showing you and teaching you how to cook every single damn day on some type of social media platform. Like, you're getting some of the best damn education in anything you want to learn about happening now. Like, that's what we live in,
Right.
by the way. This is an amazing time.
You're saying we don't need culinary institutes.
Fuck
Just
no.
got it all on YouTube.
No. It's fine. Yeah,
Instead of
YouTube.
choosing that, just
Yes.
come to our cooking channel.
There it is. Yeah.
We have so many stars.
Can you imagine?
We'll learn you all the things.
We have the what'd you say, Michelin stars? We got like the Nitto Grappler stars, like
Okay.
5 of them.
Can you imagine? Hey, you know what? Nitto grapplers are badass.
Yeah, exactly.
Run all over a Michelin. Just kidding. I'm just joking. I have no idea.
What's happening right now?
Okay. Anyways, hey, this is gonna be a great episode. It's badass information there. John, hot off the grill.
Yeah, that's all I got for the hot off the grill barbecue news.
Do we have a few minutes to slide into a beer review, or are we going to get right into the guest? And
We got about 7 minutes. Think we can bust it out in 7 minutes?
Of course we can. We do anything in 7 minutes.
yeah, we can.
A lot of people do a lot of things in 7 minutes.
Let's do it. Let's do the grab and a brisket.
Beer side pull.
Yeah, I was over there in I don't know, what is that, Webster or Clear Lake or whatever. Beer's looking at you. You guys know what I'm talking about. Highway 3. I was out there for a doctor's appointment or something. Anyway, I rolled in there, and as soon as I walked in, the guy was like, "Oh, you looking for anything in particular?" I was like, "Not really. I'm just looking." "Oh, you should get this because this is," I think he said, "refreshing," and I bought it. It's called Side Pull.
Good for you, John.
And I bought it.
And I bought it.
Hey, you talked to one person and you bought beer.
Yep.
I do that at the registers as well.
4.1 ABV, Czech style lager.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah,
It says pale ale, right?
Who's it by?
Pale lager.
Pale lager. Okay.
Yeah, this is.
So
I
it's
think
a-
this
this
is
is
Fair
a-
State Brewing, isn't it?
Well, this is a collab though, right?
Yeah, I think it was Fair State with Bierstead.
Okay.
If I
yeah.
remember correctly.
Yeah. Badass. Okay, let's see what we got.
James, what are your thoughts?
Sorry, I need another pull off this.
Another
Okay.
pull.
I see what you're doing,
Another
James.
pull off the old side pull. What do you think of the can, Jan? Jan, the
Man,
can man.
So this has a very, I don't know, man. How would you put that? I mean, a European.
Spigot.
Yeah, but very, I don't know, just the art on
Very
this.
minimalistic.
Yeah.
Very
You're not a
just
fan, huh?
dull
No,
colors.
I just think
It's
it
okay,
looks.
just say you're not a
It looks
fan. It's
very
all right.
It's all right.
European, I guess.
it does not attract any children.
No. Can you imagine?
What's wrong with
Can
you?
you imagine?
I'm just saying, Jan's
Jesus.
Where did that come from?
Jan's
Don't know.
point of view of like colorful cans and like trying to
this on
market towards
Jan.
kids. I mean, I'm just saying.
I
No,
guess that's
you're
true.
right. You're right, James.
Hey,
Yeah.
first
this
the
is-
kindergarten comment, not this. Now this.
Yeah, we're not. Listen, we're not on the list, so you're fine. But yeah, you're right. This does not give like that whole like, hey, the kids should be drinking this. You know, like, Mom, I want more side pull. Like, you're not getting that.
It's very classic.
So
it's very
yeah,
like Tiffany blue.
yeah.
Just very like elegant.
Yeah, I don't know. I think it's a cool looking can. It's not. I guess it didn't catch my eye when I walked in. It wasn't one I was going to buy
So
until he
that's the
recommended
thing.
it. But
If I walked by that, I was like, oh, it's very, maybe in very, yeah, not European is the wrong word for that.
subdued. It's very subdued.
Like,
It's a little bit hipster looking to me. Like,
what the? No,
Yeah,
is it?
It's like trying to be whatever, but the kind of text they use, or what do you text?
The text is throwing me off.
Font.
It
font.
looks,
Yes, the font is a little bit weird to me. It's almost like, oh, I'm gonna get a tattoo with this
Yeah.
or something.
Does it taste crisp, malty, soft, and crushable to you?
kind of.
Yeah,
that
that's
what it tastes
actually
like?
No,
really
kind
good.
of.
Yeah.
No,
It's
no.
like-
It's spot on. I don't like the logo and the
It's
side
like they
pull
took
thing.
one of those calligraphy markers and just like
Like your side
You know what I
pull
mean?
could have been your
Exactly.
side
kind of stuff
piece
you made in like junior
to
high.
me. You know what I mean?
What do you mean?
What do
They
you mean
could have
by
done
that?
like a side pull, side piece type thing, and this could have been like, you know, yeah, you have your favorite beer out there, but this is your side piece.
Yeah, they could put like a horror
Right?
on the side. It'd be perfect,
Whoa,
right?
whoa! I didn't use that word. You used that word.
That's
I
a
don't-
lot, Matt. That's a lot.
Yeah.
You
this-
know.
Hey guys, listen.
This
Can
is
we?
a family show.
I promise you,
Of
we
all the
don't
things
all have
we've
the
talked
same
about on
views
here.
as Matt. Matt is on his own. He's on an island.
What is side? Is that because the spigot? Like you pull it to the side to
Exactly.
start? Is that
Yeah,
all?
yeah.
Yeah,
Yes,
it's
yeah.
a certain kind of spigot they use in the brewing industry. That
No, we
Shut
all
up, John.
we all know what it is. We're just saying.
I don't know if we've talked about the label enough yet, guys.
Let's just wrap it up a little bit. Let's
Score?
condense it.
You want
and
you're gonna score. Or you want me to
go.
score?
go ahead, James.
let's okay.
Okay, go ahead, Jan.
Okay, let me see real quick.
Okay, Matt, go ahead.
Yeah. So there's not a whole lot going on here. It's a nice, just smooth beer, right?
It's very light.
It's very light, very smooth. I'm gonna.
You only have
give it-
90 seconds. The whole thing is only
I'm
90
gonna take as
seconds
much
still.
time as I need to, Jan. I'm gonna give it a 7-1. I think a 7-1's a good score
That's
for
a great
this.
score, man.
Right?
That's a good
It's
score.
nice, a nice, refreshing, crisp beer.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going to give it a 7.0. I'm not going to give any comments or whatsoever.
Wow.
7.0.
Good for you, James. Yeah, be strong. Go.
Me? Are you telling me to go?
Yeah,
Are
go,
you done?
John.
Okay. I think you're wrong. I think it's very easy drinker. It's crisp. All those things you said a second ago, I was like, oh, you're exactly right.
Let's see how the side of the can.
Like what
Yeah,
you're doing?
exactly.
Like
Yeah.
what you're doing, John.
the maltiness. This has got a lot more flavors than you think about. They're just not like punching you in the face.
Yeah, it's a nice crisp. light
It's
beer.
crisp, yeah, and that maltiness. Though, I think that is doing something. I'm gonna go 8.0.
Wow. Okay.
This
All
is
right.
good. I like this. I don't know if I'll buy it again because it wasn't that cheap, but I do like it.
Was it worth the money?
You guys enjoying
Yeah.
it? If you're enjoying it, I guess it is.
Did they get you on the upcharge? They probably did.
I'm an
I bought
8.8.
this 4-pack and I bought a 6-pack, and it was like $40.
Yeah. I'm still an 8.8. That's where I'm at.
8.8.
8.8.
Wow,
that's
you
good.
really
This is a
like
great
this
beer.
You love this beer.
This is a great beer.
Okay.
Then
This
it
beer-
was worth it.
It tastes really good. It's
I think
so
so, too.
smooth.
I think it's
Like, drink that
the
and then
flavors
drink
are
that.
more complex than what you're giving it. Right?
I think,
Yeah,
I think
100%.
the flavors are more complex than the Scores Light. You're probably right about that.
Then drink that. So good.
Corny. Malty. Let's wrap this up.
It is. It's like a multi-light beer.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway,
Go try it for yourself.
Yes.
Your side of the table is high, and our side of the table is average.
I vote we arm wrestle for it. Just arm wrestle whoever's in front of you.
Damn it. I'm going to lose.
Right.
Okay.
Well,
This
anyways,
concludes the Grabbing the Brisket.
Beer
review by you. How's that?
Damn, John. You went in. You went all in on
so
that.
since last week, y'all rated that Blue Moon so high. Has anyone drank it since then?
I haven't drank since then.
Yeah, actually, that's true for me too. I have not drank. This is my first alcohol
I
since
mean,
then.
That's
that's
a
a
lie.
Hold on.
That's
Okay.
actually a lie because we were together
we all
last
know
weekend.
you're lying, Jan.
I drank all weekend.
I did have a
but
Blue Moon.
But I have not
You
drank.
did?
Yeah.
Yeah. But I have not drank since Sunday.
Yeah, sure.
You know, smoking meats isn't just cooking, it's an art form. The aroma, those deep flavors, the patience, it's a whole experience.
And behind every great artist, there's the right set of tools. If you're aiming to build your own barbecue pit or dreaming of a custom design tailored just for you, SmokerBuilder.com has your back.
Led by Frank Cox, their expertise is unmatched. Offering blueprints, kits, and insights, they turn every barbecue dream into a flavorful reality.
Imagine your backyard, the center of attention, and at the heart of it, a smoker that's uniquely yours.
It's more than just equipment. It's about crafting those unforgettable moments. And with the guidance of Frank and his team, you're setting the stage for magic.
So whether you're a seasoned pit master or taking your first steps into the smoky world,
Head over to SmokerBuilder.com, fill up your carts, and be sure to use the promo code GRABTHEBRISKET in all caps to receive your 10% discount. Smoke on.
threw down some ribs last night, used the Chicks That Smoke Spicy Rub, mind blown.
Dude, that's what I'm saying. Like the Chicks That Smoke spicy barbecue all-purpose rub, dude, it is a game changer for sure.
Yeah, if you folks have not given it a shot, you need to.
Honestly, your barbecue will thank you.
Chicks That Smoke, it's at Sucklebusters.com.
Hey listeners, ever been at an event or business gathering and noticed that one thing just stands out? A simple item, but with a touch of personalization.
Bro, I know exactly what you're talking about. CoolieNation.com, it's all about making an impression. Custom designed coolies that aren't just about keeping your drink cold, they're making a statement.
Exactly. And for businesses out there, listen up. Whether it's at a corporate event or your product launch or you're promoting your own brand, these custom coolies can be your next big marketing win.
Imagine your logo or brand message right there in the hands of potential clients, partners, and customers. It's subtle yet impactful.
The quality and design of flexibility they offer, top tier. It's not just a promotional item, it's an experience.
So for everyone looking to make their mark, whether it's in business or just adding a personal touch,
Dive into CoolieNation.com.
Elevate your brand, elevate your events.
with CoolieNation, every sip is more than just refreshment, it's recognition. Make it count.
So head over to CoolieNation.com/brisket and get your hookup.
Hi, I'm Dave, host of the Beer in Front podcast. Every week, I'll talk about a beer that maybe we've forgotten along the way while we're getting those check-ins and badges. Sometimes I'm going to talk about a new beer that has potential to be a classic. You could check out the podcast wherever you listen, or you could catch videos over on YouTube and TikTok. Remember, sometimes the beer in front of you is the best one yet. Cheers!
Hey everybody, yes, James grabbing the brisket back. As we had mentioned earlier, we have an exciting interview for you guys, and not brand new to the show. We have Eudell Watts with Old Arthur's Barbecue. Eudell, hey, how are you doing today?
I'm fantastic. Glad to be here today.
Well, I'll tell you what, man, it's a pleasure to have you on. Getting to know you and your son, just a little bit at the NBBQA in San Antonio was pretty amazing. Just hearing the stories of, yeah, and really of your, um, it's not just your life, it's your family history, and
Yeah, well, we see it as our legacy.
yeah, 100%, man. It really is. And I think it's something that, you guys picking it up and running with it, and it just letting it live on and letting it being really what it is, because it's pretty amazing stories, and not to mention just being some of the first, right? Uh, it's pretty damn cool, and just getting to know you guys, and then having you back on. So
Yeah.
and we've been cooking the shit out of y'all's seasonings, and I have my favorites, and I've got my favorites for the fried potatoes that we do, cooking for the family and whatever else. And it's pretty awesome having you on.
Well, the flavors that you're cooking with, if you think about it, one man's hand for nearly a century and refining them, and just over and over, constant refinement. And that's what you'll wind up with, is flavors that are darn near unmatched.
Yep. Exactly. Like I said, I posted some videos using some of this stuff, and like Jan said, we had you on at the NBBQ. I can't remember what episode number that was.
246.
246, I think so. Yeah. So the listeners, and I know we deep dove a lot into the different flavors, and I know I've been poking you, saying, hey, I want to hear some more of these stories, because you told us some stories out there that I came home and told everybody about, that I would definitely want to get into. So focusing on that, like, how did this all start? Let's start at the beginning. Where did this all start?
Well, I guess there's almost two beginnings. There's Arthur's beginning, and then there's where we picked up. But if you think about Arthur himself, the image on the label, if you look over my shoulder here, that is my great grandfather Arthur. The man started out life as a slave in Kansas City. The barbecue sauce that he produced is barbecue sauce. It's Kansas City style barbecue sauce from about 165 years ago. So I like to think of it as, the DNA of Kansas City barbecue. He was owned by a farm in Kansas City that among other commodities that it produced, they also produced meat, for sale in the Kansas City area. It was Arthur's job to produce that meat day in and day out. That's what he did all day, every day, from the age of 14 on. So you fast forward at the end of the Civil War, he's 28 years of age. He found himself free through the Emancipation Proclamation. And the only thing of value that he had to take with him out of bondage were these recipes. He took those recipes with him when he left. He wound up in Illinois and immediately set upon leveraging them as a means of earning a living. And because he was accustomed to cooking on such a massive scale, he became renowned in Central Illinois as the go-to pit master. If you're having a city festival, a county fair, you sent for Arthur, he would come to town via horse and wagon and make it happen for you. And he enjoyed that reputation until from the age of 28, when he was freed, until the time of his accidental death at 108. And so again, you're tasting one man's hand. He started tinkering with this stuff when he was like 14. All the way up to 108. He was in demand as a pit master. I've got newspaper articles going back as early as 1916, but I have articles that refer to him, as a 105-year-old man supervising the community barbecue.
Yeah.
So, that's
freaking.
It is. Yeah, I've seen some of those. I was thumbing through some of the just doing a little research thing. I've seen some of those articles where they're referencing Arthur supervising and or just putting on these cooks for the community. And it's oh, there you go. Yeah, it's something to see for sure.
Well, we've always held it in pretty high regard inside of the family. We made his recipes. They're very complex. I mean, the man had a lot of time on his hand. He lived to be 108. His recipes are really complex. There are recipes inside of the recipes, and so we only made his sauce and his rubs on special occasion. 4th of July, Memorial Day, Labor Day. Otherwise, we were, buying stuff at the store like most of America. And so it just dawned on us one day that we need to tell his story and share what what he accomplished in life.
Yeah.
And that's what you have in what we've been packaging now for the last 12 or 13 years.
It's listen. This is just as much as his legacy as y'all's legacy, right? I mean, you're the guy bringing this alive, and you're doing a fantastic job. And it's, dude, these seasonings are phenomenal, man. We've cooked a bunch with them, and honestly, I cannot wait to keep cooking with these things. I've got 2 bottles in my house that's opened, ready to go. You know what I mean? And it's just cool getting to know you guys, and the passion. When I first met you, we were actually at the Kansas City Royal, and I was listening.
Oh, yeah.
I think y'all did I think it was it a pull? No, it was it wasn't. It was pork. Belly,
Pork
that's
belly
right.
burn ends.
And that pork belly was so freaking. That sauce was phenomenal.
The sauce is so good.
I know.
It really is good.
That's what I'm saying. I just getting to know you guys. I heard the story, and but, as I'm hearing it, but I'm hearing you as well, right? And it's your passion, and this is a company for you guys. But at the end of the day, it's like you're just doing. I don't know. It's more than just trying to be a company or whatever else, because you have your story, you have a brand, and then you've got your hard work and sweat getting this out there. This, honestly, man, like, kudos to you.
We didn't start out as with the intent of being a company and being a brand. We started out literally, my father, he's owned a trucking company the entirety of my childhood. When all of his kids were, out of school and grown out of the house, he sold his business, and he got bored. He went back to school. He got a master's degree. He got another master's degree. Then he got a culinary degree, and he was still bored. And so we were looking for something for him to do to stay engaged. And we were talking about it, and he found that he was being invited by classrooms in his community to come and tell Arthur's story. And I was like, wouldn't it be neat if you had something tangible to take with you? And so we literally, like, our first foray into this was really to support the talks that he was giving in classrooms. And we found that it quickly started paying for itself. It wasn't like taking money out of our pocket. It was actually paying its way. And that's when, we did it for a few years that way. And that's when we decided, what, we could actually build a business for Arthur's, like, for my children and generations to come off of Arthur's legacy. So let's get it.
That's exactly what it is. Dude, you guys are killing it. And I remember sitting there this year with you, and then I think we had was it Meathead standing there,
Meathead,
and he reaches over and kind of he has his own mannerisms, but he makes this comment. He goes, this is exactly why, like, this is what needs to be told. Like, you need to be, this story needs to be out there, and I remember him saying it, and I remember looking at you, and you're like, yeah, it does. This is what we're doing. It was just a cool moment. It was a cool exchange between you two guys, and just, I don't know, just hanging out. So, no, I just really appreciate just getting, really to know you guys, and honestly, thank God, because man, I'm not sure my kiddo wants the fried potatoes or anything else. She's like, hey, hell, we did baked potatoes the other day. She's like, hey, can you get the seasoning out? I was like, just give me a second. I'll get it out. Like,
I have
why-
other ones. No, I want
why
that
are
one.
you just give me a second? Why are you pressing me like this? So no, it's cool, man. I'm so glad we finally got you on. I know we had some some technical difficulties during the Wi-Fi. I think we had a Wi-Fi issue.
Oh yeah. We were trying to get you on
that's
last
right.
month. Yeah.
So yeah, thank God you said yes.
Yeah, but you mentioned we were sitting there with Meathead and whatnot, but I think that's when he shared the story about with the horse and getting kicked and whatnot. Can you share that story with
The
us?
silver dollar.
Yeah. Can we hear that?
Yeah. So there are so many incredible and literal incredible stories about Arthur, that we've held dear inside of our family. They're almost too good to be true, but I swear to God that they are true. So, if you look at our website, there's a photo on there, a multi-generation photo. Arthur, his son Eudell Sr., his son Eudell Jr., and then there's an infant, my father, Eudell III. So, my father was almost 6 years old when Arthur died. And, he has 8 or 9 first cousins first cousins and 4 siblings that all remember sitting on Arthur's lap, that all remember like hearing him tell stories about his life. They remember his cooking. They remember the flavors of everything that he produced, and they all will tell you a version of the story that they used to fight to be the one to sit on his lap when he told stories. And if you could get him talking about it, like some of the things, the change that he'd seen, some of the hardships he'd seen, some of the good times that he'd seen, he would always finish his stories almost talking to himself. In which he'd say, and he talked in the third person. Old Arthur, seen some good times, I've seen some bad times, but no matter what times I see, I'll never die broke. Or old Arthur will never die broke, is what he would say. And he would leave it at that unless you asked him, well, Grandpa Arthur, what do you mean? And what he meant was, now I'll tell the story. As a child slave, he was 5, maybe 6 years old. One of his tasks that he was responsible for was when his master would leave the farm or return to the farm, he was responsible for taking care of that man's horse. So if he was leaving, he had to hustle to the barn, get somebody to saddle the horse, and he'd run it out to him. When the guy got back from town or whatever, he'd take the horse and take it to the barn and get somebody to properly put the horse away. Well, the horse, the man was leaving the farm. The horse had just been freshly shod. And if you've ever seen a new horseshoe versus an old one that had just been taken off, it takes a horse, a little while, a couple of hours, whatever, to get accustomed to the gait of the new shoes. Well, this horse had just been shod, so Arthur was trying to hustle it out of the barn, and the horse caught the front of its hoof and horseshoe on the threshold board coming out of the barn, and it literally, to free itself, it used force and kicked out, and it caught Arthur in the back of the head with its hoof, and it just laid him out. They actually thought, for a moment, they thought that it had killed him, but they realized he was actually still breathing. And so they sent for help. Now, appreciate station in life at the time. The help that they sent for was the vet. The vet came, and he cleaned the wound on the back of Arthur's head as best he could. I mean, his head was badly injured. He cleaned the damaged skin away and did his best with it. He took a silver dollar and he heated it. I'm sorry, before I tell you that part, there was bone that was loose, just like little at the point of impact, little piece that he had to remove because it was loose. And in order to plug that hole, he took a silver dollar, heated it in the fire, and then cooled it with alcohol, and then put medicinal salve around the edge, put it over the wound, and then made a seal around the edge of it with more medicinal salve, and then tied a clean cloth around Arthur's head to hold it in place. And he showed Arthur's people, look, I don't know if this is going to work. I don't know if he's going to make it, but the only chance he stands is if you do the same thing that you just saw me do, multiple times every day, 4 or 5 times a day. You've got to change, keep a medicinal barrier around the edge of the coin, and you've got to keep a fresh cloth tied around to hold that in place. And I personally have no idea how long you have to continuously do that before skin begins to hold that coin in place. But when my father and his siblings and first cousins would ask, Grandpa Arthur, what do you mean you'll never die broke? He would lean forward, and you could see from inside of puckered skin about a nickel's worth of silver dollar that was still in place 100 and some odd years later. And my father said that he and if you a lot of you guys get a chance to meet my father. He's a very young 84. He's going to be around 200 as well. But he said that when he was doing nothing, just kind of idle time or having a conversation with somebody, he always kept a flask with alcohol in it and a clean cloth, and he would be just rubbing that area out of habit. So if he was standing still, he was cleaning that area. It was just what he did. And so old Arthur will never die broke.
Yeah, dude, that's so freaking.
It's the craziest story.
I know.
Swear.
I know.
And you tell it so much better than I did to my wife. Because my wife was like, "What are you talking about?"
I know, right?
Now she can listen to this and understand.
Now she gets it.
Right.
Yeah.
So interestingly, you think about that. It kind of sets a theme for his life, just like strength and fortitude. And when he was freed, and he made his way from Kansas City to a community called Kewanee, Illinois, which is actually the home of the Hog Festival, which was a very big event here in Illinois for decades. He made his way to Kewanee, Illinois, and as a new arrival to the city without a penny to his name, shortly after, literally weeks after slavery, he was a vagrant. He was homeless. He had nothing. And the only way that he was able to take care of himself initially was by, going to business owners and asking, can I clean up in exchange for a meal? Can I clean up in exchange for, I don't know, for change, whatever it might have been back in the day. And so there was a bar in town that he entered, and asked, it was 10 o'clock in the morning, something like that. He asked the barkeep, may I clean up in exchange for whatever you'll give me? And the barkeep said, well, I've already cleaned up for the day, but I'm waiting on barrels of whiskey and beer to come. And if you can unload them and get them down to the cellar, I'll pay you for it. And so he said it's coming at noon, whatever. So he had to wait around an hour and a half, 2 hours. And unbeknownst to him, there were 3 local, youth, tough guys that were accustomed to doing it in exchange for a couple of rounds at the bar. And so when they arrived, the wagon was there. Arthur was strong enough that he was able to, shoulder a keg. Now, what we know is what we call a keg of beer, that's a half barrel. A full barrel is like that big monster thing you see in Cracker Barrel. And, it weighs a good 320, 330 pounds, when it's filled. He was able to get it up on his shoulder, walk it into the business, and put it in the basement. He did that 3 times. And the 3 local guys that were accustomed to doing that were taunting him the entire time because they felt like he was cheating them out of their fair drinks at the bar. The barkeep was trying to make them leave him alone because he had hired Arthur, but to no avail. Arthur finished the job, and they made it be known that they had something waiting for him out in the street when he left the establishment. There's a payback coming, so he tried to wait him out, and he finally realized he's going to have to go through them because they're not going anywhere. And the barkeep tried to warn the guys away. Essentially, look, it takes 3 of you guys to get this barrel to the basement. This is one guy that did it. You pretty much not the.
Let me tell you what I'm not doing. I'm not waiting outside for the guy that just carried that. That's not happening. I'm just like
just kegs of beer downstairs.
I could be mad all day that I lost my job, but I'm not waiting outside for that guy. That's
yeah. They had the numbers. Long story short, when Arthur tried to wait him out, he wound up having to go meet him in the street, and they went to the hospital. He went to jail, and so think about it now, as a newly freed slave, he said he was terrified. He didn't know what was going to happen, and he knows what would have happened where he came from. Put it to you that way. And so the next morning when they came and got him, he had no idea what was happening. He had no idea where they were taking him. But they took him in front of a judge for just a quick bench trial or discussion on what had taken place and what to do next. And fortunately, the barkeep, who was actually the bar owner, appeared. He showed up. He was there, and when they unraveled the whole thing, the man told the truth, and he explained that he tried to warn those guys away, that he had hired Arthur fair and square, and that they gave him no choice. He tried to wait it out, and as a result, the judge essentially said, hey, look, given the severity of the injuries that were dished out, I can't just say go home. So let it be recorded that from this day forward, Arthur Watts may strike no man with a closed hand.
Oh shit!
Wow. You don't want to come before me again, having done so. And that was the end of it. So somewhere on the books in Kewanee, Illinois, is the edict that Arthur Watts may strike no man with a closed hand. And it was stories like that and a few others that kept people in that area, maybe not to his face, but he was always known as that double strong man.
Damn, dude. That's what I'm talking about.
He switched to just slapping the shit out of people.
From that day on, he just slapped the hell out of people.
Arthur Watts.
That's awesome. You know what, man? This is a family thing. This is what it's about. This is about tradition, keeping family together, keeping, I don't know, man, keeping a legacy. You're right on the word. It is a legacy. This is badass, man. And yeah, I can't thank you enough for coming on and even sharing a tenth of what you just did. So yeah, I'm, like I said, I'm a huge fan. I've been a huge fan since I've seen you guys in KC. So badass, man.
Well, I encourage anybody that's listening, jump on our website and check out some of the photos. All the photos that are on there are from our family photo album, and just some of the massive barbecues that this guy was doing. They're jaw dropping, to be honest.
If folks want to get a hold of you on social media, where do they look?
Instagram, Old Arthur's Barbecue, and we're Facebook as well.
Old Arthur's. And so like,
Old
so
Arthur's,
if they're ordering product or if they're trying to find you, same thing.
Yeah, same thing. So you can find our products at our website, www.oldarthurs.com. We're the Evil Empire, Amazon. We're right there. Barbecue Pro Shop, places like that. So we're spreading out. We're getting out there.
Yeah, we'll put links down below for everybody too to find all the social medias and to order some products, because these products are freaking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
And I mean, I know we're running short on time, and I was going to ask. I mean, obviously the products. Have you started putting out videos on how to use the product, how to like cooking videos, how to? Because I was going to ask you, I need some tips and tricks on how to do some ribs or how to do some pulled pork, whatever it is. Are you going to be focusing like a YouTube channel or whatever to showcase the products and how to utilize it?
We absolutely are. We've put out just a handful of like quick reels on Instagram, but we realized that it's not enough. We actually need to do some start to finish, talk people through the recipe type of videos, and so we're actually planning a series of those right now. Just mapping them out. Real soon to come. You'll see them probably within the next 30 days.
Let's go, Eudell.
Awesome.
Okay.
Yeah. Hey, when those come out, send me some links. We'll share it with the folks.
100%.
Absolutely.
All right, brother. Well, we appreciate you, and this probably won't be the last time we have you on, because I feel like you got like probably 100 more stories.
I
to share.
know.
There's a few more Arthur stories in the
man.
tank.
Hey, thanks, man. You have a great night.
Thank you.
All right, guys.
Yes, sir.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having me. Take care.
I could just sit here and listen to the stories all day.
No, I know,
So
man.
good.
It's so cool.
So good.
There's got to be a movie
It's
somewhere
not
in the
just a
works.
story.
like,
Look, you know,
if you're a movie
That second
producer out
story,
there,
I hadn't heard that
know.
one before. That
No,
was
I
a new
know.
one.
it
They're
was
all
really
new to
good.
me.
I mean,
It
it's
was
not
pretty
new,
cool.
but
What,
it's
what I was going to say was, Eudell and then also his son, they're both putting a lot of energy in and getting this, going. And I can't imagine. I've never tried to do something like this or whatever else, but this comes almost second nature to him. He's like, this is in his blood to
100%.
do barbecue, and it's just very cool to meet him.
I love doing research. Some of the stories that I was hearing. This wasn't always the concept, right? This wasn't
No, for
wasn't
sure.
in the works or whatever. But I love hearing stories about like all the 4th of July's, the family gatherings. By the way, did you like that word I made up earlier? God dang it,
The
dude.
faux casings?
The faux casings. Good Lord, dude. You guys never let me slip.
I was biting my lips so hard.
It was so, dude. I looked at Matt. I go,
Yeah, I saw your lips moving. Shit.
I was like,
Hey, that should be a sound pad button from now
oh,
on.
it will be. It will be.
But
Thank
I
you, bud.
love the story that I read that was talking about this was something that was looked forward to every gathering that their family got together because they would all get together and they would make the sauce and I assume they had the rubs and whatever but they would the sauce and they'd get together and do it. Family would get together, they'd barbecue, all that type of stuff. That's what they look forward to every year, every event, whatever. And then then he mentioned a story about them doing the thing to where, okay, well, might as well just like create some of this and showcase it. And all of a sudden, just boom.
well, I'm glad it came to fruition. And to me, it really makes me want to like cook something on an open fire because he created these recipes.
There's a good picture right
I was
there.
gonna say over
to be
like,
on open fire.
Yeah,
That's
open
right.
fire pit cooking, like old school barbecue. I bet it's just fucking legendary.
I know it is.
And the way I describe these seasonings is like they're very fine powder and they're not overly salty like a lot of other seasonings are. And I always appreciate that because I have salt. I can add the salt I want to have. So
right.
I always like whenever people don't have like a super
'cause
overpowering salt.
You
to
can
it.
season it way more that way.
Yes, exactly. And he's got a flavor. It looks like just for about everything. I've tried like 3 or 4 of them. So
While we were sitting there,
yeah, I was just snacking.
get your tongue out of the bottle. Anywho, you guys want to talk at all about what we did this last weekend?
I'd love to, but can we take a?
Yeah, PV.
Yeah, yeah, I do.
Okay.
I do, John. Thank you.
All right, so no win fail today. So
Look, I guess maybe we're doing better at our
we not
jobs.
marketing?
We're teaching people how to win all the time
I don't
because
know.
nobody's sending the fails.
So if you had sent in
And we're not-
anything, like you would just be automatically entered in and you'd win some Sucklebusters. You'd be entered into our giveaway that we're going to do later this
100%.
year. Like,
That's like that
No,
participation
mega?
prize.
The
you
mega
just show
giveaway?
up
Mega
and you
giveaway.
win.
Right.
No, I agree with you, James. But you know what? I think we failed the people. It's all about the people, and I think we got to do a better job as far as getting the message out there because maybe people have forgot.
I think sometimes people they have
It's
wins,
short-term.
and I think they think that they're not that good of a win. Like they're like, oh, I cooked something that came out good. Just send it in. We want to hear about it.
I don't know, man. You're like, listen, I need head-to-heads at that point. Like, you're like, I made some scrambled eggs. And it was really good. I don't want to hear that.
I'm talking about barbecue. I'm talking about barbecue. Okay.
Yeah, I'm just saying. It's
You
got to be
finally
quality.
did a brisket and it came out good for the
It's
first time.
quality
Whatever.
wins.
You know, send it in.
That is a win.
You
If
know
you
what I mean?
made your first
Yeah.
ever good brisket, that is
Yes,
actually
exactly. Like even if
That's a quality win. I'm saying quality wins and any loss.
you really want to hear
I
the
don't
bad
care
things.
what your loss
Jan
is.
wants to hear the bad
Yeah,
stuff.
just give me your bad shit, man. Come on. I don't know. Listen, man. Like, John cannot stop eating the freaking. Hey,
a
John,
win. I want to
why-
dissect this. This has like a lot of stuff in it.
Why don't you take a
Look at
swig of that sauce
There's a
over
lot
there
of
when you
stuff
get done
in
with
it.
that?
No, I was going to add, like, okay, so a few notable events coming up here in the future.
Yeah.
I don't think they're relatively close, but something to keep an eye out on, especially since we visited the Houston Barbecue Festival and the gentlemen's over there at J&R Manufacturing. They have a golf tournament that they're putting on that's coming up here in October, and it's called the Pit Masters.
That's right.
And that seems like a pretty cool event. I think they're having it at the Cowboys Golf Club there in Dallas, Texas, or Arlington,
Whatever it
is.
falls at there, it's all the same. Yeah. But they are doing that. You're right.
You guys want to go record out there?
No, I want to go play out there.
Yeah.
You record, I go play
But
the
that,
golf
that
tournament.
definitely could be a road trip for sure.
Could be fun.
If we record, can we the entire time be like, okay, here we are at the Grab the Brisket podcast.
Y'all should go record.
hole.
I'll go play.
Jan
Jan's
steps
up,
up,
up.
shanks it right.
He
Before
fucking
you see
missed the
that.
ball completely.
I love
We're just
that.
going to set up at a hole. Yeah.
Let's do that.
This guy looks like he drank too many Bloody Marys. He's got
Listen,
shank right left.
right, left. I don't think so.
It's
That
going
is
to
the
go
shortest
right.
club I've ever seen.
I don't know if you know what golf is, but we're not banking. No.
So that's a cool event coming up. Also, the barbecue showdown that is every year at the St. Arnold's Brewery. I don't know how we get tickets to this, but anybody out there that's listening that might be heading up that and they want us to come out there and maybe do a live broadcast, maybe do a podcast recording, maybe just let us show up and drink some beer, and we'll set up our podcast.
Do we even care about the barbecue
No, we
part? or
don't.
just
Yeah, I was
wanna
about to say,
drink
let's
beer?
record it that one.
Listen,
Let's go.
if you don't have beer, we bring our own. If you have beer and you charge for it, we still bring our own. That's the kind of people we are. That's what I'm saying.
We were at the fest and they had St. Arnold set up, and we're like, man, dude, we brought a cooler. And we're like, I don't want to be rude because we brought our own beer.
Got to
And
buy one.
I did not care.
It wasn't.
You went to
St.
go buy
Arnold's.
one,
It wasn't
right?
St. Arnold's, and I was like, okay, so I'm going to go over there and just at least make an attempt to purchase a beer over there because I want to support the cause. I want these guys to be able to generate a little revenue off of us, whatever, before we start just like drinking our own stash or whatever.
Busting into the old Yeti.
Yeah. So I roll over there, and a couple of nice ladies just sitting there. I was like, hey, you guys got beer? And they're like, no, we don't. I'm like, dang. Mind you, this was probably about maybe 10 o'clock in the morning.
It was 10 o'clock.
It was
in the morning.
early.
Yeah,
And
10:30.
she's like, hasn't arrived yet. I was like, dang it. She's like, well, you probably should have brought your own. I was like, I did bring my own, but
yeah, but I felt bad.
I was
You have a
trying to
problem,
be
sir.
I
nice.
wanted to ask you guys first before I started to go in there and start ripping over some Coors Lights and going to town. So and they're just like, yeah, go for it.
Hey,
So,
the entire time they just kept looking over, waving, like almost like, yeah, we got you. I was almost like a little nod.
Right.
It was cool.
Yeah. Well, eventually we did run out of our beers and had to drink some theirs. So.
that's
yeah,
true.
yeah, they're volunteers, right? Just like I
they don't
volunteer.
care.
for
We're all
the
volunteers.
Okay, we don't
Houston
need to hear
Livestock
about
Show
it.
and Rodeo. They're
All right.
actually were part of the beverage stand. So
We're not. Listen, we're not doing
I was
this.
gonna say,
James.
what committee are you guys on? But
Stop.
no.
Just stop.
That's all I had. But honestly, guys, it's been a fun episode. I enjoyed catching up with Eudell and hearing about Arthur and his stories, and hopefully we can get him back on again to hear a lot more stories from him, because there was one that he told us that where Arthur had taken his buggy and cart to town, and got a little sauced up at the tavern. And then he got in his little buggy and it's like, all right, home. I don't know what the horse's name was, but the horse knew what home was and just took off. That was like
It's like a taxi service.
That was like very early on, like Uber, right?
Yeah,
right,
You know, he's
right.
like, God, let's go.
No, he had some other good stories that he didn't share tonight that we definitely need to get on.
And that thing got hit by a horse. Got hit by
nope,
a train.
You're just doing
Horse. I was gonna say horse, but a
I
train.
think he said a horror.
You're just you were great where you had it, but now you're going to leave too many tidbits.
I'm telling too many stories.
Hey, you
All
can't
right.
No,
stop.
it's good. It's
Hey,
good.
honestly, it's been great talking barbecue.
Peace.
Thanks, everybody. We've been great.
As we close out, big thanks to SmokerBuilder.com and the NBBQA for their unwavering support.
Absolutely. And cheers to Barbecue News Magazine, Sucklebusters, and Dalstrong Knives for their contributions.
And you know YETI always has our back, and CoolieNation ensures our drinks stay perfectly cold.
Lastly, props to Cambro Manufacturing and, of course, the Spicy Nut, the Chicks of Smoke Seasoning. Thanks to all for powering this show.
Until next time, keep smoking.